It's looking at me.
This is our first vlog as the Busy Bees Bodies business partners.
Sure it is. So we're going to talk about... Oh, Daniel.
We can talk about our experience with Daniel today. Okay, so at our last event, there was this guy, like, after our workout was over, he was just walking his dog at the park, and we started talking, or he actually initiated the conversation with us, and was like, hey, so what are you guys doing around here? And we're like, oh, we're just hosting this workout and everything. And then it turns out he was a gym owner, or the owner of his own fitness facility. And he started giving us like a bunch of tips on like where we need to go, what we need to research, what we needed to start doing, and just really, really helpful. And he let us know where he was, where his facility was, if we ever wanted to drop by and check out his place. And he even said that he might have like a spot for us to host our workouts indoors, which was like really exciting. And it was just awesome to meet someone who's just genuinely able to, or wanting to help us out. So today, me and Adrian decided to check out his place. We didn't know where it was. We knew it was in the Noda area.
It's not necessarily Noda area.
Well, okay, it's right outside of Noda. It's like in between Noda and...
Several warehouses lined up. You would never have just guessed that it was there.
Yeah, because we're driving, to tell him where the turn is, and we miss it because the only sign he has up for it is this vinyl banner that says the name of his facility. On and,
like a fence.
Yeah,
that's just like kind of pushed to the side like you would see in like a horror movie or something like that. I really thought she was taking me to be murdered for some reason. I don't know why, but maybe. It was really scary. And it's just, there's nothing back there. It's just a gravel road as you go back and around. And then you come to the just opening for a warehouse. Like, I don't know anybody who's been to a CrossFit gym. You know, it's like a giant warehouse. That's what we came up on.
So we didn't really know if we had the right place, but we didn't think there were very many places with the name of this facility. So we walked around and we walk inside, and the stairs up to the place are just like these rusted stairs that are, they go over the top of the foundation, so you end up having to step down onto the actual floor. And then you walk into this warehouse, and there's equipment everywhere. It's lining the sides. There's about 40 yards of turf that just lines the middle of the facility, and it's like, it was like one of mine and Adrian's dreams come true whenever we walked in.
Yeah, I didn't know any of those places even existed around Charlotte. Just a giant training facility for athletes, for lots of variety of functional equipment that he had there, rowing machines, tons of different kettlebells, all kinds of Olympic weightlifting equipment, prowlers, cross-core 180s, different cable machines, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it was just really great, and we didn't really know where to go or what to do, so we awkwardly walk in. We obviously aren't dressed for it. We're like in flip-flops, sweatpants, using shorts and
staring at us.
Yeah, and we're like,
don't belong.
Do you know where Daniel is? And they're like, oh, he's over there. And he walks out right as we turn around. And he's like, oh, hey, guys. And you're like, we're good friends or whatever. But, of course, he didn't even remember our names. So we stayed around for another, like, 30 minutes talking with him about stuff. And turns out he was, like, one of the coolest guys we've met in a really long time. Just so open and willing to help us and talk with us. And it was just extremely encouraging for us to continue on with this, and for Adrian especially, it's like exactly what he was looking for, or like wanting to do, one of his big dreams, to have a place like this.
Talking about my dreams like you know me.
Well, it's exactly what he told me he wanted the other day. So now Adrian will take it from here what he talked about.
What? Okay, well,
you retold this story like 2 or 3 times now.
Like 2 times, not or 3. It's just 2. He basically just went over his whole history, just willing to completely convey all this information about himself, about his history, about what he's done in the past training, what his goals and philosophies on training are like. He talked to us about a lot of different people that he's looked to in the fitness industry, different professionals that he's learned a lot from. He's just throwing names out. He's like, if you're really serious about this, you should know, like, this guy. And we're like, no. He's like, well, you've heard of this guy then? And we're like, no. he's like, oh, well, you might want to like look him up and do some research. And like I'm like trying to take notes like discreetly on my phone so it doesn't look like. And then he just kind of noticed that I was. We kind of came by and said them like quietly again to me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I got it now.
And then I said, he's my receptionist, so that's why he was writing it all down and not me.
Sure, whatever that means. But then he just basically told us about what he does at the gym, the whole philosophy of not really wanting members, but just a place to train people, basically. And he let us kind of sit down on one of his classes. We kind of just talked to him while he went through one of the classes with people who had done it several times before, so they kind of knew what they were doing. But he told us about just the different experiences he's had with getting equipment, just willingly sharing anything that he could. He was really genuinely interested. Not actually was taking us seriously, like.
Obviously, we're young, but he
don't know what
yeah.
we're doing.
I had whispered to him at one point. I was like, Adrian, we have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my thought was though.
It's okay. And he had, because we had asked him if he had like planned on doing this all his life, and he got a bachelor's degree in exercise science. He had been an athlete in college. He had boxed all his life. He said he couldn't remember our names because he had so many concussions in his life. But attached to his gym was also this giant warehouse of boxing equipment. He had an entire boxing ring, an entire cage, punching bags, all kinds of other equipment right next door. So I'm sure he has a lot to do with that because that's where his background is. And his whole philosophy on fitness is functional training, because whenever he was training when he was in college, the point of his training was to get better. He wanted to be the best at what he was doing.
To be an athlete.
Yeah, he wanted to be an athlete, and so he wasn't doing it for aesthetics. He didn't care really about. I mean, I'm sure he cared about looking good, but that wasn't his main goal. Was to be as good looking as possible, have the most aesthetic physique as he could. And so that's what he really pushes and preaches, because he doesn't look like, you just look at him across the room or something like that, you wouldn't think he's like a bodybuilder or anything like that, but he knows his stuff. He's really educated, and he's been doing it for a long time.
He had emphasized was functional movement screenings, which is one thing we'll start looking into more. But basically what it does, it analyzes, it's the concept or the system of analyzing or screening the parts of your body that have abnormalities, imbalances. It tests your flexibility.
Yeah, where you lack flexibility, things like that.
Because just like in our everyday lives, it's things like from sitting a lot at a desk, we'll get abnormally on like tight hamstrings or something like that. So it's the idea of working on these abnormalities before throwing you into one of these really harsh or demanding conditioning workouts. So, I mean, to me, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah,
it took me by surprise to think something like this is just now coming out of exercise science.
Yeah, and he was pushing this, saying this is going to be the next big thing he believes. And what I liked about him is that he put a big emphasis on training people to be better, not necessarily just having clients or having a gym for people to just come to work out in. It's a place for people to come and get better. He didn't want to just throw somebody into a program. He wants to make them better. And so he would do the whole screening process before, find out whatever you need get fixed, and take measures to correct anything that you may have off in your body. A lot of people will have shoulder issues, a lot of people have lower back issues, hamstring issues, and he immediately gets you on a program to fix those things before it really gets you into intense training. Because he really actually just talked about how much he cared more about the people that he trained with and people that he wanted to get better.
Yeah. So overall, it was just a really great, genuine experience for us, and I think it was a really good foundational step for us in the process of, creating Busy Bees bodies. And I guess I can go on with my December movement, a Golden December, because it's just one of those things that is golden now in our lives. It was a ray of hope for us in the blinkness of December.
The disgusting day that it was.
It was actually really nice today.
It was warm. It wasn't nice. It was so wet.
True.
Kind of gross. It's going to rain tomorrow. Rain on your Golden December.
No, you gotta find the rays of hope in every day. Okay, well, and then it was kind of funny because since we were talking to the guy, he he had started his class, and they were on the rowing machine. And because he was busy talking to us, he didn't forget to tell him to stop, but it was for 2 minutes, and he didn't tell him until 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And so they were all mad at him for making the row an extra 5 seconds.
Yeah, like they had timers on their actual rowing machines, and
So
he
they
looks
stopped.
over and they had just stopped. Like he was like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
stop!"
stop.
And everybody else just looks at him because they're just sitting there and they already stopped. Like,
And they kind of gave us some evil
on,
stares. Oops, sorry.
but
So yeah, it's a place we'll definitely be going back to, probably talking about more.
mhm.
But yeah, we just wanted to share. This is mine and his.
Anybody in the Charlotte area in North Carolina, go check him out because he knows his stuff.
Yeah. They're called Edge Performance Training. Their website is myedgecharlotte.com. So if you want to go look them up or find them on Facebook, that's how you can, because it's a great place, I think, so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we have to say,
Sure.
I guess.
Whatever.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Be active.
Be social.
Be divine.
Be a
Busy
bee.
bee.
We're supposed to say that in unison.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. Wait, we can do it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Be a busy bee.
Yeah.
And
Close
don't
enough.
forget to like us on Instagram, Facebook, check out the website, #BusyBeesBodies with whatever you do in regards to fitness, social, or divinity.
Hashtag a golden December.
Hashtag a golden December is the next
Your
thing I was going to
golden
say.
things in December.
And you can tag either me or Adrian, and we'll see it, because let's keep encouraging each other as we get through December. So yeah, bye everyone.